All right. We read the question, what is one reason for daylight savings time? Now let's read the article. It says, daylight savings time, or DST, was first used in the United States in 1918. Every spring, people changed their clocks 1 hour ahead, and each fall, they changed their clocks back 1 hour. This lets them enjoy an extra hour of sunshine during the spring. It also causes people to use less electricity. The phrase, spring forward, fall back, helps people remember how daylight savings time affects their clocks. All states do not follow daylight savings time. The United States does not force states to follow it. Some states, like Hawaii and Arizona, do not follow daylight savings time. They do not need an extra hour of sunlight. This is because they get enough sunshine through the year. Indiana did not follow daylight savings time until 2006. How about that? All right, so that's crazy. I didn't know that.
19.
So did we find one reason for them to use daylight savings time? Right. So one of the strategies for finding evidence or finding text support to answer a question is to do what? Another one would be notes in margin, like we just did, right? You're going to write notes in your margin, right? So now I think you'll go back, you're going to reread, and you're going to look for some reasons, right? And I think I see some reasons in there.
We take notes to put them down.
Right, yes. You're going to write them down. So on your sheet, you're going to write down what your answer is. Right? So you're going to write down your answer, and then, here, let me just blow this up. We're going to write down our answer, right? And then over here, you're going to tell where you found it, right? Prove it. I know this is the answer because I found it in paragraph 1, or it said, right? You're going to prove your answer, all right? You're going to do that then you'll do a line. So this is question 1. Question 2, you do the same thing. Question 2 is over here, and it says, let's go down here. It says, the Pony Express, right? What's the question? It says, how did the Pony Express change life for people who moved west? Right? Let's read it together really quick. Have you ever run a relay race? That's when you run part of a race, then you tag another runner, and he or she runs to tag the next runner, and so on. If you imagine a relay race, then you'll understand how the Pony Express worked. The Pony Express was set up to get mail to the people who were settling out west, as far as California. It could take over a month to get a letter out there, and people got tired of waiting. So 2 businessmen decided to set up the Pony Express, a kind of relay race on horseback from Missouri to California. Here's how it worked. A young rider would grab a mailbag and jump on a horse and ride for 10 miles at top speed. Then he would jump on a fresh horse and keep going. He would change horses 7 times, and then he would pass the mailbag to another rider who would keep on riding another 7 horses for another 70 miles until he reached the next rider. With the Pony Express, the mail got all the way to California in only 10 days. But in just a couple of years, there was no need for the Pony Express. People could use a brand new electric way to send messages in only seconds. The telegraph was a lot quicker than the Pony Express, but not as exciting. All right, so what was the question again? How did the Pony Express change life for people who moved out west? Let me just tell you something. It didn't say anything about the Pony Express changed life for people. Does it? It doesn't come right out and say it. So what do you have to do? Maybe for number 2, you adjust your graphic organizer for number 2. Maybe for number 2, you do something like this. We got to do what I read. equals what I infer.
Yeah, that was down. I accidentally pushed it down, so I was trying to.
That's all right. All right, so you can, like I said, you can start with the inference. If you think, oh, I know how it changed life for people, you could say it helped that, however you come up with. If you come up with the answer here, then you have to tell what you read that makes you think this, right? Then off of what you read, what do you know, right? Well, I read this and I know this about what I read. Therefore, this is how I think it changed life for people, right? So here's the deal. Let me stop my screencast. Here's the deal. I want you guys to not